What we're celebrating tonight is the following. There's a special takana, special institution, which was instituted by the Lubavitcher Rebbe of blessed memory 28 years ago, in 1984. He instituted that every day, every Jew, as many Jews as possible, should learn a chapter. All is a special idea of Jewish unity. The idea is to bring together as many Jews as possible. Now, how could you bring together a lot of Jews? You could do a lot of things. Now, what the biggest thing that you could do is if every Jew around the world learns the same thing every day. So, therefore, there's three tracks. There's three ways of studying the Rambam. For people which are able to study more, you could study 3 chapters a day, and you could finish the whole Rambam or the whole Yad HaChazakah in 1 year. Which that is like finishing the Torah in the whole year. We have, the Rambam calls his Sefer Mishneh Torah. He writes in the introduction, if you learn Chamisha Chumshei Torah, if you learn the 5 books of Moses, and then you learn my Sefer, the Sefer of the Rambam, you have the whole Torah Shebechsav, the whole. Some people, like many of the members of the Kollel standing around here, finish the whole Rambam every year, in 1 year. Now there's also an idea of learning the Rambam, which for that cycle we're completing the 30th cycle. There's also an idea of learning 1 chapter a day. This is something which is more practical to, I would say, everyone sitting around the table. Taking like 15 or 20 minutes a day and learning. We started on Shabbos, and yesterday we started was the first chapter. Learning 1 chapter a day of Rambam, and after 3 years, you know all the laws of the whole Torah. From from laws of prayer, the laws of, even laws which are not relevant nowadays, the laws of the sacrifices, the laws of Shemitah, of laws of let's say, like some of you are learning Tractate Bava Metzia, so the laws of Ben Adam L'Chavero. In this Sefer, the Rambam writes the main points of every mitzvah of the Torah. So those which are not able to study 3 chapters or 1 chapter a day of the Mishneh Torah, they could just study a few mitzvot every day. They know that way at the end of 1 year, you know all the mitzvot of the whole Torah. You know all 613 mitzvot. So this is one idea of studying Rambam, a specialty of studying Rambam, that you don't have by studying anything else in the whole, all the Svarim over here, you don't have this specialty that you have by studying Rambam, that in 1 year or in 3 years, you learn all the mitzvot, all the laws of the whole Torah, which that is a very, very special thing. It says that every Jew is obligated to learn in his life, in this world, is obligated to learn the whole Torah. Or if he's not able to learn the whole Torah, at least he's obligated to learn the laws of Shabbat, etc., etc. They need to know about Purim, they're learning the laws of Purim. There's a special idea in learning something just because a mitzvah is from the same word, from the same root as the word in Aramaic, tzav, which means connection. That a mitzvah, every mitzvah connects us to Hashem. It's the will of Hashem. So there's an idea of learning the Torah, learning things even which are not relevant. Why? Because we're not just learning things which we want to know how to fulfill, how to keep Shabbos, how to keep the holiday, how to pray, and similar things. We want to connect with Hashem. We want to know all about the 613 mitzvot of Hashem. We want to know the will.
Cephas is always covered, and therefore the world will be filled with the knowledge of God. The same way wherever you look, it's covered over completely. Will be totally covered and totally saturated in the knowledge of God, and it'll be a wonderful time period. So therefore,
be very soon able, to be the one finishing the Rambam. So the first halach of the Rambam said like this: Yesod HaYesodot ve'amud HaRamot. The foundation of foundation and the pillar of wisdom, is to know that there is a primary being, who brought into being all existence. And all beings of the heavens, the earth, and what is in between. No nimseu ella ve'amitat nimseu. And what is between them came into existence only from the truth of his being. This halakha, or this, seems a very basic belief of Jewish people, to believe that there's one creator who created everything. We have to know that with Goyim, it's something that has been a lot discussed. They could accept that HaKadosh Baruch Hu created the world, but they could not accept that he created the world from nothing. That he used a certain energy that was here, and he talked about it in the Guide of Perplex, chapter 2, volume 2, chapter 13. This is something that the Goyim could understand. That he created from nothing, that he's echad with his creation. This is something that they could not accept. Basically, if we look today to all these theories, like the Big Bang, that even exclude a creator to use this initial energy to create a world, they accept a theory where they call nature, whatever you want, that used an initial energy. This they can accept that from an initial energy something can be created. So now they took off God from a theory where before there was God, but still they need this. The fact that we believe that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is echad with all of his creation is a very big principle of the Torah. And I think that what he says at the beginning, Yesod HaYesodot, here the commentator said, what's Yesod HaYesodot, the foundation of foundation, is to believe in God. Because obviously there's no religion, there's no Torah if there's no God. He continues, Ve'amud HaChochmot, and the pillar of wisdom. What is wisdom? Is the Torah. The Torah teach us all the wisdom and how to behave, to be wise people. Basically, if you believe that HaKadosh Baruch Hu didn't create everything, you leave a room for something. Which means that tomorrow when you're going to take a Gemara, when you're going to take the Sefer Vayikra in certain places, you're going to see things that you don't understand what they're doing here. You don't understand the purpose. You want, when you learn, to learn about beautiful things, Mashiach, Olam Haba. But when you start learning about there's a talit on the floor, there's two people who picked it up, who does it belong to? So now you're going to say, oh no, this is not really Torah. You left a room, in your mind, say, okay, maybe all this is Torah, but this little piece seems a little bit weird to me, so I'm going to pass to next page. So basically, it's tell you the pillar of wisdom. To really become a wise man in Torah, you have to believe that HaKadosh Baruch Hu created everything. If he created everything, there's not one subject to learn in the Torah that shouldn't be as fascinating than Olam Haba, because they should be put exactly at the same level.